Hello, hello. Hey, hey, I have a few people hopping on. We've got something really good for you guys today. I'm very excited about. I'm going to give it a few more minutes and see if anybody else comes on. So every once in a while, I will do client interviews, client spotlights with people that have gone through our program, that are going through our program, that are just doing phenomenal. And I do this because, one, it gives everyone else a chance to get inspired and hear other people's stories. I think whenever we can hear other women's stories and hear their struggles of where they were at one point, and then how they have really overcome those struggles, and really be able to kind of come together and just hear someone else's experience, it makes us realize that we're not alone in our struggle. We're not alone in what it is that is, so tough for us to accomplish, whether it's you needing to lose 10 pounds, 5 pounds, whether it is just you being able to learn to have a healthy relationship with food and kind of have that balance between being able to have fun and eat out and go out with friends on the weekends and not feel like you're starting over every single Monday. We all struggle with the exact same things. And so whenever you can hear other people's struggles that are just like you, just like me, then you start to understand that you're not so alone. You are not somebody that this is the only, you're the only person that's ever experienced something like this. It's not the case. You really start to see, hey, I can do this too. I can accomplish whatever the goal is that I'm really wanting to accomplish, whatever that may be for you. So that's why I do these client spotlights. That's why I love doing them. Some of you guys are hopping on them. I have a lot of new people here, and I just want to make sure that I love actually getting to know you guys, talking to you guys. I've spoken to so many of you through DMs, which is so wonderful. But let me know, if you will, where you guys are from. Hope you are all having a great day. I sure am. Hey, Lindsay, I see you. I'm about to connect us here in just a minute. Southern California, Megan, yes. Megan, I'm excited for you. You're about to start with us pretty soon. Can't wait. It's a long time coming, sister. Okay, North Dakota, okay. Wonderful. I'm drinking my afternoon coffee in my Yeti cup. Does anybody have one of these? Amazing. Best. I love coffee mugs, but this is literally the only coffee mug I can't wait to start. I can't wait for you either, girlfriend. People ask me all the time, are you going to make me give up my coffee whenever they start our program? And I'm like, girl, do you know me? No. I love coffee. That is one thing I'm not going to compromise on, and I will not give up. So no, I will never make you give up your coffee. You might learn and make decisions on your own to adjust things a little bit and say, oh, maybe I don't need that in my coffee. Maybe I can do something else, but that's totally up to you, always up to you. You are the person that is in charge, and you get to determine what you eat, what you want to eat, which is the beauty of things. All right, so we have a few people on here. I'm going to come back up here, and I am, Lindsay, going to come in. Lindsay is an amazing, amazing client. I know you guys are going to be really, really inspired from listening to her today. So I'm excited. It's connecting, and we are going to bring her in here. If it will bring it on. Oh, London. Books for Hannah. Hannah, that's awesome. I know we were chatting in DMs just yesterday, maybe? That's wonderful. Super awesome. Hello, hello. Let's see. We're making it tough for Lindsay to join. Let's do it that way. I just sent her a request. So while we're waiting and we're kind of getting connected. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. We are like, y'all know how everybody's house right now. We're like streaming something for the kiddos in the living room, and I'm on, and I was like, oh gosh, I hope the internet holds up. So sorry about that.
No. Well, hey, it's good. You look so pretty.
Oh, thanks. I was nervous. This is my first live, so I put on real makeup for today.
Well, you look great. You look phenomenal. I love it. Thanks for coming on here. I so appreciate it. I know, and I was just talking before you came on that the reason that I do this is because I think so often as women, we really kind of isolate ourselves whenever we get into a position of like not knowing what to do, or we just feel like, okay, I've had it. I know I need to, in this case, lose weight or whatever the case may be, but we don't really know where to go from there and we isolate ourselves. But these lives, I have had such good feedback because it makes other people see that we all struggle with the exact same things. And you have done so well with everything that I think that it's just going to help people so much to see that like, you can do it. Anybody can do it. You just put your mind to it and you just have a plan and the support to get there, and it can absolutely happen. So first of all, I'm just going to let you kind of start, if you will. Will you just tell us a little bit, like, give us the rundown of you, who you are, married, kids, like kind of give a little background info on you so that these women and people watching can kind of get the gist of Lindsay.
So I am 31, just turned 31 in July, and had my second baby in February. So just before everything got crazy. I'm married. We live in Austin, Texas. I'm a high school math teacher and dance coach. So I have a lot of really long days. I coach both the JV and the varsity program at the high school I teach at. So we've got games multiple nights a week. We've got morning practice. We've got afternoon practice. I don't live near where I work, so we commute, 30 to 45 minutes one way each morning and each afternoon. And so finding time for myself, first after kids, and second learning how to commute, because the city we lived in before, I was literally 5 minutes from work. And then as I've gotten older, like everything is just changing. So finding time for myself has been hard, as all of these seasons of life have happened. But yeah, got two little kiddos and a very busy job and an awesome husband. So that's, I guess,
He is.
the quick version.
Yes, no, that was perfect. That's so perfect. He is awesome. I remember on our call, you just were saying how just wonderful, supportive, caring, just that he is for you. And I know that that makes such a big difference in life for sure. So good. So if you will, tell us a little bit kind of where you were, if you can think back before you reached out to us, before you reached out to me, before we talked and you joined our program, like what were you struggling with? Where would you say that you were at? Just kind of like mentally, physically, emotionally, kind of all of it.
So I danced in college. I'd always been very body aware. I knew how to eat right, and I knew what exercise I needed to do. But as I mentioned, as I'm getting older, and after second baby, and then with the pandemic hitting, I was like, everything just seemed to be snowballing. I was gaining more weight. I wasn't taking the time I needed to commit to myself. I was definitely on the like feast or famine train. Like, oh, I had a little bit today, I'm just going to blow it out. It doesn't matter. I'll try again tomorrow. And also on that emotional eating train. Like, I had a really great day today. Let's go out and have Mexican food and lots of queso to celebrate. Or I had a really bad day. I deserve to order a pizza. And so my food was controlled by my emotions instead of just, and I knew that I was making choices that weren't the best for me long term, but somehow I couldn't make what I did know match up with what I was missing. So I was starting to exercise more. I was starting to eat. I guess back mid-May, I was like, okay, I've got to do something. And I started trying to make steps in the right direction, but it didn't seem like all of the effort I was putting forth, all the pieces were working together towards that common goal. And so that's when I really started honing in, because I followed you for a while, back from the very beginning of BZH. Like back when you still had a sign business, I switched over with you, and I was like, so I've watched for about 3 years. And finally I was like, you know what? I need somebody to tell me, like, I need somebody to give me all the pieces that will work. It's like I had a bunch of pieces to like a miscellaneous puzzle that didn't work. And so in July, I guess I reached out and I was like, you know what? I need a change. I need a plan. And my favorite thing was that you said, I want you to not need me anymore, because so many people that are out there and so many programs that are out there are either short-term success or it's something that you're going to need to rely on that resource forever. And that's just not something that's realistic for people. And so the fact that you were like willing to own up and say like, I want to teach you so that you can do this on your own, that was a big thing for me. But yeah, not a great place. Not mentally, my relationship with food was not great. So it was an exciting step to say, you know what, I'm ready to really commit to something and invest in myself.
Yeah, exciting for sure. Scary, probably, I would think. Also, on the other side of that, because it's kind of like, okay, fear of the unknown a little bit, kind of like I've been thinking about doing this whole time. And I love that you just said, though, you said you like had all these pieces everywhere. You just didn't, they weren't matching up with kind of like what needed to happen on the outside. Because I know, especially on Instagram, especially, well, anywhere really, like there's so many opinions. Everything is just out there, so many different places, and like being and feeling like you're in a place of frustration to where you're trying, but it's just going in circles and things aren't really coming out on the other side to show all your hard work that you do. So I totally understand that. So do you remember, I want to talk a minute about like when you came in, what was the goal? Like, what did you want to achieve? What did you tell us? Do you remember?
I had a certain pound loss that I wanted.
Yes.
Like I wanted to get back to my even pre-baby weight. I was really thin last spring, but like a healthy thin. And so I wanted to do that. But I think maybe what you're hinting at is like just the way I looked at myself and the way I like accepted compliments from my husband, I think is maybe what you're hinting at.
Yeah.
Because he's so supportive and so kind and always would say such nice things. And I would literally look at him like, you've lost your mind. Why are you even saying that about me? And would get embarrassed when he was saying nice things about me, which is not a good place to be, like as a woman and as like a mom now. I saw something one time on social media, you know, the memes and everything that are out there, and it said something to the effect of, would you ever want your daughter to say to herself the things that you say to yourself? And I was like, oh gosh, well, that hits me hard. My daughter just turned 3 and I think she hung the moon. You know, I don't care about a lot of this superficial stuff. And so that's when I knew like my mindset needs to change, not only for myself, but for those around me, my husband and my kids, and how they see me is how I need to see myself. So what can I do to make those match up, both physically and mentally?
Yeah, absolutely. That's so good. So good, for sure. And so reaching out, there's always usually kind of that little push of, okay, if I'm going to reach out, I'm going to do this kind of a thing. And then you and I got on a call and all of that. How did that work for you? The process of just, I mean, did you feel like you were scared? Did you feel like I was going to come in and just judge you, or you know, all of that? Like how was that for you? Because I think that that's something that a lot of people struggle with as well, is kind of like we are isolated. We isolate ourselves whenever we're struggling, and so to kind of reach out and put yourself out there and be vulnerable to someone else via the internet that you really, you know, may not know personally, that can be a little bit scary. It does get you out of your comfort zone, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely scary. I mean, there for a lot of reasons. I wasn't sure what you were going to expect of me. I didn't know financially what was this commitment going to look like. I'm also it's a big character flaw, but I worry too much about what other people think. So I was worried about getting into the program and potentially wasting your time if I wasn't going to be able to hold up my end of the deal. And so there were a lot of nervous things about that. I mean, there's just so many components to that. Like I can't even, my brain's all over the place when it comes to that question. But you made it so easy. Like just send a simple message. Let's get on a quick phone call. I think it was like 10 minutes. We just kind of touch base, 15 maybe. We just kind of touched base and you talked about like, what do I want? This is kind of what you think. Go back and process. You were no pressure, which was so nice, because sometimes when you're trying to make a connection with people or like use their services, it's very sales based. And I didn't feel that way at all with you. It was like, hey, this is what I do. Does this sound like it's a good fit? This needs to be, I also really appreciated that you knew it was like a mutual team thing. Like you were going to be all in and I was going to be all in and we had to meet in the middle. I felt like you were maybe just working with me. You know, I know you guys have tons of clients, but it feels so individualized and you care about me individually, which was an awesome feeling. And again, that no pressure to be like, hey, go talk to your husband, see what y'all think. And if you want to jump back on another call and like make the next step, then let's make that next step. So it was nice that it was, you know, kind of like there was a bit of a process to it, so that it didn't feel like you just had to know now. Like, let me go process all my information that I'm receiving, and then I can come back to you and give you more feedback.
Good. I appreciate that. I'm so glad, because I do understand, you know, whenever we kind of do something different, when we step out, when we do something that we haven't ever done before, that is something that can be intimidating. It's something that if you feel like you're being pressured into something, or you're not even able to kind of go talk to your husband and stuff like that, like you need that. Plus, I feel like we work so close together, you, me, Kristen, like all of us, we really have such a relationship that we have to make sure we're a good fit in the beginning before we even go anywhere else. Because if we're not, then it's just not going to work. It's got to be there so that we can thrive together, because that kind of energy for all of us working towards the same goal, which is your ultimate goal and your success, whenever we can just jive and get that working together, then it makes the biggest difference down the road and in the process. And I always tell everyone that, like when I get on calls with people, is I would much rather right now, let's just see if we're even a good fit. Like if we even jive together, or if this is what you're looking for. Because if not, then 6 months down the road, it's not going to be there. And it has to be there, because we do have such a relationship that this is one-on-one. This is something that you don't just not talk to us. You talk to us all the time. So if you didn't like us, well, that wouldn't be good. You know, and that kind of a thing. So before you joined with us, what were had you tried different things? Had you tried like specific types of diets or workout programs, or, you know, just anything like that to kind of get to a place that you wanted to be at before coming to us?
So specifically in the last few months, I had like started the clean eating. You know, we all get on Pinterest and we're like,
yes,
clean eating, whatever it is we want. And we tried to take, you know, the foods we're used to eating and make them better. Which is, now that I'm so much more educated, know that it doesn't have to be that way. I started becoming much more active. So I knew that that was an important piece. Obviously coming off of being pregnant and not being super active during my pregnancy, just walking. And then I was building up to running a 5K. And then in the past I had done Whole30s. So I like the idea of Whole30. I like the whole idea of a body reset. The thing is, that's not a weight loss tool. You know, it really is to kind of look at what foods in your body cause inflammation, and it's not supposed to be for weight loss. And so those things result in weight loss when you clean up and take out certain foods from your diet. But I needed something that was sustainable and long-term and realistic to do with my family. Like, I can't forever cook myself a meal and then cook my husband, there's only one husband, and my kids food. I don't know why I put an S on the end of that. Like, it needs to be that we're all together. Plus, they could really benefit from making an integration of healthier foods into our daily routine as well. So I had kind of tried everything back before I started having kids. I had tried different shakes and different product lines in that regard, that were all supplements and different things that were supposed to, you know, be the quick fix. And that was another thing on our call that I appreciated. You were like, we're going to sign up for a certain amount of time, and it's not going to be 4 weeks. It's not going to be, you know, 2 weeks. It's going to be something that you're going to commit to, and you're going to do it for a long time, and it's going to benefit you far beyond the time that you're going to commit to it. This is not a quick fix situation, which I appreciated, because I think a lot of times that's what everyone craves, is like instant gratification. And that's just not how this process works. And it can be how it works, but then it's going to catch up with you and you'll gain it all right back. So lots of quick fixes, nothing that's been sustainable. And I feel confident that with what you guys have taught me, that this is going to be something I'll be able to use forever, which is kind of awesome.
Yes. Oh, that's so awesome. Like, that's the goal. That right there, you know, not needing me one day, because hey, now you have this foundation, like you're solid, you're strong here. And I'm gonna let you answer this question because I get this question a lot through DMs or whenever I get on calls or whatever. They say, okay, so are you with like any kind of company or program, or is this supplements? Is this shakes? Is this like what is this kind of a thing? And so what would you say? Is this shakes? Is this supplements? Am I with a company? What am I doing here?
No, it's food, it's balance, it's activity, it's what feels like around the clock support. I mean, I can message you guys any day of the week almost, and I get an answer within a few hours because you guys are so responsive and so helpful. And it can be something major or something as simple as, hey, I think that I'm counting too much protein. Is that right? And, you know, like a quick answer, like constant support. But it's real food and it's balance and it's not feeling like you're deprived of anything. Like I'm getting to live and go to Mexican restaurants, eat my pumpkin Reese's during Halloween. Like,
Yeah.
if you try to take away my Reese's, it's just over. There's just nothing that I can do about that. So there are foods that we've kind of been traditionally taught that we need to stay away from, and that's just not the truth. So
Yeah.
We just need to be responsible with our choices. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're so good about that. It's just, I remember, I think it was maybe your 6-week call that you and I had gotten on, and you had told me that you were at work and like coworkers had gotten you Chick-fil-A and they got the fried nuggets or fried chicken in there instead of the grilled, but you didn't freak out. Like you knew what to do. You just adjusted your day and fit it in, but didn't feel like, okay, now my day's over because I just had this. So it's a snowball effect kind of a thing, you know? And that's what I think is so wonderful. And that's that foundation that I love and that I want to be able to help and teach every single person that you know, that does come into our program. It's just such a foundational piece is that, look, you can choose the food that you eat. You can eat food that you love. You can also learn how to cook healthy food in a good, you know, in a way that tastes good. And balance those things out like you're talking about, because if we can do it and we're balanced and we can fit our Reese's in and we can have dessert and we can have, you know, our coffee like I was just talking about and stuff like that, that's going to be something that you can do long term. Versus, like we mentioned earlier, maybe something that is more geared towards a restrictive, more Whole30 style that it's good for 30 days. And hey, yes, it's great for a very specific purpose, but we can't always keep up with that. And so really learning to stay in that gray zone of finding the balance, which is something you have been so good at, but you're also very good at planning and prepping and like making sure that you're doing yourself those favors. Like you set yourself up for success. Have you always just, I mean, you're kind of a planner, right? Just like in general.
yes, type A to a fault over here.
Type A
100%.
to a fault. Well, it works so well for you. It really does. It just helps because if we can look up and look out beyond 24 hours, 4 hours of what we're doing, then you're so much more successful down the road for sure. So, okay, so now I want to kind of switch gears. I want to talk a minute about what you have achieved while you've been with us. So guys, Lindsay came on and she initially joined with us for 12 weeks, which our program, you can come in, you can join either for 6 months or you can join for 12 weeks right off of the bat. Either one is totally fine, whatever. We decide once you and I get on a call, really kind of where we see you would be best at, what makes the most sense for you. Well, for Lindsay, what made most sense for her was she started at 12 weeks. After her 12 weeks was over though, so pumped that she decided, okay, I'm gonna go 6 months. So now she's with us for a bit longer. And for our program, we take our clients through 3 phases. We have a fat loss phase, which is our burn phase. We have a sculpt phase, which just means we are really focusing on once someone reaches that fat loss goal that they have when they come in, then we've got to get them out of that diet because our bodies do not need to be in a diet for too long. I'm gonna scooch this over my son. Our bodies don't need to be in a diet for too long. And that's what happens with a lot of women over time is we're continuously in a diet. We're always in this calorie deficit. Over time, and that just depletes hormones, it depletes metabolism. It's just terrible for you. So, Lindsay, that's where we're at, correct? We're focusing on coming in and now our main goal is, look, we are going to make sure that your metabolism is at a great healthy place. We're working on giving you more food. We're really switching those workouts to making sure that we're sculpting that lean muscle that we want to show all of that hard work for. Because most of the time we don't want to just come in and lose 30, 50, 40, 10 pounds, but then just have a blank frame underneath it. We want to be able to put on our clothes and feel great about our booty, or our arms, or whatever it is. We all have these different goals. That's what that second phase is for. And then the third phase is our lifestyle phase. It's like, look, you've already reached your goals. Like, now you can stay here as long as you want to. That's what we're going for, which is what we have talked about earlier. Just, look, I can stay here. Like, I'm smooth sailing. I'm not in a diet anymore. I now have these skills and these foundations that I have really perfected over time. And now I can move on and go from here on out, and I'm good to go. And so specifically, Lindsay, for you, what have you kind of come in and accomplished? I know we talked about, okay, you had a specific goal, a number for when you came in. If you will you kind of just like share whatever you want to share with that, as much of that as you want to, that you feel like you have accomplished and learned while you have been in here so far with us?
So I came in with like a 20 to 25 pound goal to get me back to what I thought was that ideal weight that I wanted to be. And then as I started approaching that, I realized, like, I can probably actually do a little bit more. And I don't know if it was that I was scared in the beginning that I was going to set a goal that was too far out.
Yeah.
But we pushed it to 5 more pounds. And so I'm only 2 pounds as of my check-in that I'll send in on Tuesday. I've only got 2 more pounds, and I will be at that additional 5-pound loss. And so it'll be about 30 pounds that I'll have lost, which is insane for me to say. And honestly, like, when you originally reached out about doing a client spotlight, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm so nervous. Because like you said, we feel like we should be ashamed of like where we are physically, if we're not happy with it, but that's just not the case. And so I'm kind of excited to be like, I've lost 30 pounds, because it seemed so huge and so unattainable. And now I'm here. I'm like, wow, that was fast. I mean, there have been plenty of hard days and there have been plenty of great days, but yeah, so I'm there. And so we're about to start phase 2, which I'm super excited about, because that's going to bring on a whole new set of skills and learning. And I think that I'm going to learn a lot in that phase because of the fact that I just don't know enough about my fitness to know what sculpts in what way. I generally know, different workouts that are good for things, but really trying to target and tone specific muscle groups and things like that to obtain the physical shape that I want is going to be something I'm going to really be excited about. Somebody just asked, when did I start? I started in July.
Yeah.
I saw it pop up. So I started in July, and I'm almost at 30 pounds. So I'm excited about that. And the fact that it kind of took us a little while is not really, it feels like a long time. Like, oh, July seems like so long ago. But again, it's that sustainable, a little bit at a time, learning a lot, kind of weight loss. And so I'm excited about that. My pants fit so much better than they used to. I was with my family this weekend, and my sister-in-law looked at me because I kept like hacking up my jeans, and she goes, girl, just get yourself some new pants. Like, are those too big? And I was like, yeah, they're too big, but they're my favorite. And she's like, well, they can't be your favorite anymore. They don't fit.
Not anymore. So, go get some new pants.
I just need to go get new pants. But that, also my family, we're like cooking together, because instead of just doing quick fixes or quick meals, we're all in the kitchen. My 3-year-old and my husband is so patient. Like, I'm not good at cooking with her, but he does a really good job. And we're all in the kitchen together, and we're, doing that instead of just trying to rush here and there, or go play in the playroom while I warm you up something. And then also our activity level, like we go on walks, and she goes rides her scooter. And so it's just really, not only has it affected me physically, but it's affected our family dynamic and the way we interact with each other and the food that we're all eating together. It's not just about me, which is what was so hard originally with this, was that I was going to have to make a financial investment, and also like the time commitment to do all of this. And I felt so selfish doing that. And I think a lot of times, especially as moms, we feel that way. Like, I don't need to spend time or money on myself. And this has been something that has helped me personally, but it's also helped my family. So it's not selfish to do and take care of yourself the way that you should. And that's been a part of my growth as well. It's like, where am I mentally, and where should I be, and taking care of myself. So lots of things have changed.
Lots of things. Absolutely. I know. And whenever I even think back on myself over the years and my own, personal growth, physical transformations, different things like that, it's not that there's only one area that grows. It's kind of like everything grows with it. And that's why like you mentioned, like the sustainable fat loss, the sustainable way to do this, because in the sustainability, we have had holidays, we have had lockdown, we have had Halloween, like we have had, just so many different things that you're able to still do and enjoy and take the stress out also, whenever we have a pandemic and different things like that. It's like you're still living life and making progress at the same time. Because if we get to a place to where, okay, you lose your 30 pounds, yet you've done it and you really don't feel like it's something that you can do on your own 7 months from now, 8 months from now, then, and your mindset is still back where it was when you started with us, then it's kind of like, okay, that's good, but it's kind of a shame. Like it's not the best it could be. And we want to grow you mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that, because it does affect your family. There is not something that this, for a woman, I am truly convinced, doesn't touch for us emotionally, physically, spiritually, like just so much. And I only know that because I've been through it myself. And that's what I always tell people. If I can give that to someone else and help someone else see, you can do this. You can absolutely do this, but you've got to get the foundations first. You can't go for the quick fix, because if you try that, you're always taking the shortcuts and you will always at some point end up back where you were. And so if you just say, look, I'm just going to take the time and actually learn. I'm going to actually apply it. I'm going to ask the questions. Like, I always encourage you guys, like ask questions. I want you to, because that shows me you're learning. I want to know that you're learning. And I think that right there for you, especially, like you are such a good, like you just take it, you figure it out and you apply it. Like you are so good at doing that. And I think that that is what has just taken you so far, and will continue to take you farther. Like I have no doubt after this next 6 months is over, like you're going to be good to go. You are going to be one that I am going to keep in touch with, and like a year from now, reach out. How's it going? How are you doing? Like I want to see, because I know that progress is still gonna be there, and you're still going to be progressing, which is what I want for everyone. I mean, that's just, to me, that's a gift that is just like, it's powerful for someone, and that's what I care about so much. And so I have here that we've lost in your waist, it could be more, but I have like here on our system about 6 inches from your waist. Yeah,
I believe it. I mean, I don't, and at times I've told you, like I get really hung up on the numbers. Sometimes that's super discouraging to me. Like we in the beginning had to talk a lot about non-scale victories and what are some other things that are working for us. So I have to admit, I don't watch my measurements a lot, because I don't want to get distracted. Like if I'm feeling good and I physically feel better, I'm just going to let the numbers will happen. Just let them happen. So that's kind of exciting to hear.
Oh yeah.
Because that's a lot.
That's a lot. 6 inches is a lot. And your waist, that's a big deal for sure. And then I have 5.5 inches in your hips.
It's crazy.
So no wonder those jeans didn't fit anymore.
Well, that gets me excited. And it's me. I'm the one taking the measurements every week, but I didn't even really fully realize.
That's amazing. Yes, it's amazing. And then body fat percentage, over 10% so far. Over 10% that you have lost so far with us. And you will continue to lose. And when we're really getting into phase 2 for you, that's where it just continues and continues and continues to just go down. We're really maintaining your muscle mass and increasing it little by little as we go, so that we make sure that that fat stays low, and that we're giving you that lean tone look that you really want. And I think one of the best parts about all of this is now your sister Libby is with us.
Yeah. She's a no bull kind of gal. She's
awesome.
like, she has watched me over all of the years, because we're 7 years apart. I'm older.
Okay.
So she's watched me a lot over time. Try the shakes and try the this and try the that. And we're built completely different. I'm much taller than she is. And so we just have different bodies, and that's just how life is. But she would always, I'd be like, come on, Liv, why don't you do this with me? And she's like, I'm not doing that random. No, I'm not doing that. And so it's been fun where she started kind of asking questions, and she started seeing my body change, and she started kind of watching what I was doing, and she was interested, and she came to me. She was like, okay, tell me more about what's going on. This is real. I can tell it's real. It's going to be something that you're really learning a lot. Like, tell me more about it. So the fact that she has joined now, and she has made that commitment, and the financial investment, like, those are things to me that speaks even more than any of my stats, because she's watched me go through all that bad stuff, and she's like, I don't want any part of that. That's not going to get you anywhere. And she's, over the last few months, watched me do this and wanted to be a part of it. And so I was so excited that she's joining me, and it makes it awesome, because now when we have family get-togethers, like, she and we were all together at our family's ranch this weekend, and she texted me and was like, okay, I've got this planned out. This is what I've pre-tracked. Do you want to eat that with me too? And now we don't feel alone, because I think a lot of times when we feel like we're with family or we're with friends out at restaurants, we feel like we don't want to be a burden to the other people that we're with. And so now we've got somebody that can, like, we've got a partner. And then that encourages everybody else. We're like, hey, can we grill for lunch today? Well, then everybody's wanting to grill, and we're throwing fresh things. And again, it's just bleeding out to the people around us that those changes are starting to be seen. And so I'm so excited that she's on board, and we're working through that first few weeks of, what do those non-scale victories look like? What is that metabolism repair that you have to do because you've been doing something you thought was really awesome and it's not good for your body at all. And so getting to talk her through that and be, like, encouraging to her and show her, like, just stay the course. It'll work out. Has been very exciting. So yeah, I'm really proud of her and excited that she's joining us.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think you're so right. Speaks so loud, speaks so much, just volumes about you, about your progress, the consistency that she has seen, because she's seeing, okay, yes, like, okay, I need to get on this, which is just so wonderful. And, that just goes back to what I said whenever we started this interview today is, people want to hear other people's stories. They want to know and see that, like, they can do this too. And whenever we hear other people's stories, when we see other people really overcome things and be able to stay with something long term, then they start to think, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's that fire that's what we need. We need to just, support one another, share those struggles, but share those victories too, because anybody watching, you watch the replay, you can be in that same position as well. You just have to make the decision to say, look, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go all in on myself, because when I do that, that's going to bleed out into everybody else. And like you've said, Lindsay, into your family and your kids and your sister. And, like, it's wonderful. And that's why I love my job so much, and why I do this is because Libby, it looks like she just joined. Because it makes a difference. There she is. Yeah, it makes a difference. I want to do things that truly make a difference for people and in their life, and just for years to come. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy just for what you have accomplished. Like, it's a huge deal. 30 pounds. And multiple inches, body fat percentage gone. I mean, it's a big deal. Your pictures are phenomenal before and after right now, but we're not done. We know that. And I'm just so excited to see where you're going to go, because you're so committed, and you just know that it takes the little details, the boring things, just day after day that we need to do. There's no magic pill. Like I always say, like, you're the magic. You're the magic, because you keep showing up and doing those things you've got to do over and over again. And I think that's just what makes the biggest difference. If you're doing the right things, you're going to get where you need to go. So last question we have is, what would you say to yourself? What would you say to someone that might be where you were 5 months ago, 4 months ago. And, you know, you're in this place of struggling, feeling alone, uncertain about things, really kind of just at that place of, can this work for me? Or can I ever really get to that place? I see everyone else doing it, but can I really do it? Like what would you say to them? And then who specifically would you recommend this program for?
So I have to say that I kind of approached it thinking I needed to be perfect. But the fact of the matter is we're all human. So if you're afraid that you're going to get into this and not be able to do it perfectly every single day for all of the 12 weeks or all of the 6 months, you need to not let that be the reason that you don't do this, because that's the whole point. The whole point is that we're learning and growing. So if you're ready to commit to yourself, you're ready to make that financial and emotional investment in yourself, now is the time to do it, because we kind of want to just put it off and say, oh, well, I'll do it, or, oh, I'll try some stuff on my own. Like, just do it. Just jump in, both feet. You two are like the most outstanding support systems and are such great cheerleaders. When y'all first reached out, I was like, I don't want to do a client spotlight, because I was in one of those kind of low spots. I had seen a lot of progress, but things were getting crazy. Being a teacher, and like we were having kids come to school, and then kids were quarantining. I was like, I can't meal prep. What the heck is happening? And so I was like, I don't feel like I'm a good spokesperson right now, because I'm not perfect right now. And what I should have said was, yeah, I'll do it right now, because people need to see that there are peaks and valleys in this process. So, like, if you're ready to stick to a plan, if you're ready to have something that is going to teach you and make you grow and really stretch you to find your full potential, this is it. This is where you need to be, and you need to join us in our awesome Facebook group, and we're going to just cheer you on and support you. And it's going to be awesome, because it really is a community. You and Kristen are so involved in each of us that we really do each feel like we're being coached one-on-one. But then when you add that layer of the kind of full community of everyone together, there's people asking questions and other clients answering them, because we're all at different points in this process. And I think that really speaks to y'all and what you're doing. If we can answer new clients' questions, that's because it's something we've learned, and work together to support each other. You know, like, hey, I'm having a bad day, and we all like, hey, it's okay, you can do it, like, push through. So people that are ready to commit to themselves and find something that's really special and something that will teach them more than they probably have ever learned about fitness and nutrition, they need to like message you right now. They need to message you yesterday.
Yesterday. Yes. Well, girl, I know that everything you have said is just encouraging so many women right now, so many people. Whether we end up seeing them on the other side, on the inside of everything or not, you know what? They can take a piece of this and just know that you can always, always, always be better. The end of your story is not now at all. There is so far to go. There is so much out there for you, no matter where you're at. But I thank you so much. I just think that you're phenomenal. You know that we love you so much. You're just one that you're a rock star. You're amazing. And I'm just so honored and thankful that you let us be on this journey with you and help you, and just teach you and see you through. I'm so excited for you, and I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks to y'all. I mean, like, just realizing my worth and my value as a woman and as a person that's in charge of other humans. Like, it's been an awesome process, and I can't wait to step into phase 2 and keep going and growing. And we'll see what it looks like at the end of 6 months. Everybody stay tuned, hopefully.
I know. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so awesome. Well, guys, for anybody that's watching, what we're going to do this week, we have a lot of stuff coming and going on this week. My birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. I've got a huge birthday bonus bash blowout sale that I'm about to get going on. The start of that is going to be tomorrow. So that means I'm going to go live tomorrow and start a 5-part series that you guys can come on here on Instagram, join us. It's also going to be via email. So if you're not on our email list, let us know. Just send us a DM and we'll just stick you in there. That's it. There's nothing else. Just get on our email list and you're going to be able to get updates for everything, so that you don't miss anything, because I promise you, you're going to learn a whole lot in this series that I'm doing. over this next 2 weeks. And we have our free Facebook group. So if you're not in our free Facebook group and you want to get in there, go for it. My clients are in there as well. You can always come and ask questions and get support. And like Lindsay said, community is everything. So if you feel like you're alone right now, that is one of the biggest killers for your progress. So get in a community, get in a group, come join us over here, and we'll help you. You won't get lost in a sea of, a million people. As long as you stand up and you speak out and you ask for help, that's what we're here for. You can always change. You can always change your life any second you decide to. And that's why I get so pumped about you and your progress, Lindsay, is because that's what you've done and it hasn't stopped. And it's not about to stop. It's just going to continue. So I'm so excited for all of that. Thank you so much for today and for coming on. And I know that you have, Sarah says, I love this community. Sarah's another client. We love you, Sarah. I know that you're inspiring other people. So thank you so much and keep at it, girlfriend. You're awesome. All right, girl. I will talk to you later, okay?
Bye.
Bye, girl.